Okay, let's talk about the time that I found Jesus. Let's talk about sick baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about Jesus. You may be thinking, you found Jesus? Did you have a religious experience? Yeah, very strange religious experience. And I only call it a religious experience because I literally found Jesus. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. This has got to be the weirdest thing that's happened to me. Kaylin, how did you find Jesus? I'll tell you. So I was at my boss's house. So basically I clean the house and stack wood and whatever else she needs me to do that she doesn't have the time or the motivation to do, which is completely fair. So I was out back at the wood pile and I was scooping wood chips up. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to take these over to the brush pile on the side and I'll just drop them there because I figure they'll fall apart and become the earth, the whole circle of life thing. It's a circle of life. So take it over and I do 5 or 6 runs and every time I'm there, I'm in the brush pile, I'm looking at the field that's next to it, and then I'm doing my last run over. And as I'm dumping the last bit out, essentially I hear a noise behind me. And I'm like, okay, there's nobody there. So basically I turn back around and I go to look into the bucket to make sure that I've gotten all of it out. And as I look down at the ground, this guy is staring up at me. And basically I was like, where did this Jesus come from? So basically I'm like, okay, this is a little weird, but maybe it's just like my boss had lost something or it had fallen out of a box or whatever. So I picked the Jesus up and weirdly enough, it wasn't even like buried in the ground. It was just sitting right on top of it. And I washed the Jesus off. And so I take it up to my boss. So basically, I tell her this whole build up. And I'm like, you ever seen this guy? She's like, no. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. That's pretty freaking weird. So I take him downstairs and I'm like, okay. And so I put him on the counter and I was like, I'm just gonna leave Jesus here because I do not have the mental courage to throw Jesus in the garbage. So legitimately, I just leave him there. And I come back a week later and not only was Jesus still there, but he had turned his butt around so that he was facing the door. So he looked at me as soon as I walked in and I went, well crap, now I own a Jesus. And of course I haven't been able to throw him out since. I can't make myself throw him out. Apparently I need Jesus in my life, so I'm keeping him.
My name is Jesus, Jesus.
Lord help me.